Very good morning to all. So, my dear students, in today's session, we are going to learn what is meant by Android application development. So in this program, you're going to learn from the scratch what is Android, what are all the versions, features, then what are all the current applications nowadays they are using in Android, and how to deploy an application, how to create a sample application. These kind of things you're going to learn today. So first of all, in application development, it contains five important key features. One is your iOS applications, another one is your Android application, Windows-based application, web application, mobile marketing. So these five important application development nowadays they are using on that. So now we are going to focus on only on Android application development. Okay. So let's begin. Started with. Can anyone unmute yourself? Tell about what is meant by an Android. Yes. What do you mean by an Android? Yes, I need an interaction from the students. What do you mean by an Android? Fast. I have a text messages. It is an operating system. Very good, Dikshit. Very good. What about others? Can't unmute. 1 minute. I can check.
All are unmuted, pa. It's not possible to answer you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Better you collect information through the chat box.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Okay, you can post your comments in the chat box. Okay, so you can start up with a quick session. So, what do you mean by an Android? First of all, it is a software package and it is a Linux-based operating system for mobile devices. So, first of all, it's nothing but Android it's a software package and it is a core of Linux-based OS. Especially this Android is mainly useful for mobile devices. You can using mobile tablet, computers, and smartphones. So these kind of devices you can able to use in Android. So it was initially it was developed by Google, and it was later handed over to the OHA. OHA is nothing but is Open Handset Alliances. So initially it was developed by someone, but later it was taken over by Google, and it is an open source application nowadays. So the main core of the Android is a Java language. Okay, so usually if you want to develop an application in Android, you have to know some basic things in Java language. So the main core behind the Android platform is the Java language is one of the important role in that. Then the goal of an Android project, finally, if you want to develop some real world application in Android, if you want to improve some mobile experience for the end users, you have to use Android for that. Okay, so it's a single word. Android is an operating system and it is especially used for mobile devices such as tablets, smartphones, everything on that. Okay, the next. Okay, we can see about some history of Androids. Initially, Android was coined by this and Andy Rubin. He is a keynote member of the Android Incorporation in Palo Alto, California. So it was initially founded by Andy Rubin in 2003 in US California. In 17th August 2005, it was taken over by Google Incorporations. It is Google Incorporation. It is one of is taken over in 17th August. So who is this Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, and Chris White and Nick Sears? These are all the key employees of the Android Incorporation. So you have Java was initially developed by James Gosling, Patrick Norton, Ed Frank, Chris White, and Mike Sherrington. The same thing. If you want to, the main key employees to develop this Android core operating system, it was coined by Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, and Chris White and Nick Sears. These are all the key employees for the Android Incorporations. Then it is initially this Android application for intended for camera for smartphone devices only. So later it was main features. Later it was some new features in mobile phones on that current day now. Current day it is now working on that. Now this Android is a nickname of Andy Rubin. So it is initially coined by Andy Rubin. So the name of an Android comes from Andy Rubin, and from the co-workers to love its robot concept, it was developed. Changed its nickname as Android. So initially it was named as Andy, and co-workers is working on is loving on robots. So it is coined by its name. It has been changed by Android, and it was changed as Android. Then in 2007, the Google has been announces the development of Android OS, and 2008 it was the first Android application mobile was launched in HTC. These are all some history of Androids. Next thing we're going to see what are the main features of Android. Okay, So coming back, it is an open source software. First of all, it is an. Then using this Android, you can able to customize as you wish. Okay, if you want to customize your application, yes, you can able to customize. So we have lots of mobile applications nowadays. The consumers, consumers they are using now. They are using WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Lots of mobile application was developed over this Android application. Then even more mobile application nowadays. Some key important features are available. If you want to predict some weather applications, or else if you want to go for some live streamings, so these kind of APIs are available in Android especially. We have a live RSS. Live RSS is nothing but really simple syndication. It is mainly for live streaming. So these kind of APIs are available in Android. And Android is also supporting for messaging services. Nowadays we are using WhatsApp messages, everything in that. So even all the messaging services, all the APIs are available in the messaging services in terms of SMS and MMS, and we can able to embed your web browsers. Okay, and Android they have a separate storage devices called SQLite. So this SQLite is also available. It is inbuilt available in Android, and we have some connectivity APIs in terms of GSM, CDMA, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. So we have connectivity APIs are available in Android, especially in that, and we can able to connect media APIs and handset layouts. So we have a lots and lots of features are available in Android. For example, if you want to create a Bluetooth chat application, yes. If you want to create a Bluetooth adapter layer, this API is available in that. If you want to predict some weather application, a current temperature application, yes, you can able to use Android because all the APIs are available in Android, especially in that. Okay, these are some main key features in Android. Then what about the versions of Android? Is nothing but from A to, we have started from the Android version from alphabetic order. So A is A and B or the testing version. Okay, so A is nothing but B, alpha, and B is nothing but beta. But some other websites they have been said A is nothing but it is a all the Android versions are in desert format, especially in that. Okay, for example, A is nothing but alpha. It is also a desert name called Angel Cake. Okay, A is nothing but Angel Cake, and B is nothing but Battenberg. Okay, then C is nothing but Cupcake version. It was launched in 2009. Donut, D for donut, and E for eclair, and F for froyo, G for gingerbread. So each and every versions are in alphabetical order, and H for honeycomb, ice cream sandwiches, J for jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, nougat, and Oreo. Okay. Can anyone post your comment, post your things? What is the current version of Android? Yes. What is the current version of Android? Pi. Okay. Yes. Android 11. Very good. Android 11. Good, good, good. Okay, very good. I think Android 11 is the current version. The Pi version is implemented over the mobile in India. Okay, Android 11 is also a current version actually. These are all the Android versions nowadays from A to Z format. Then what are all the Android core architecture in that? Okay, we can see only the application part in that. Okay, only the application part we can able to view from mobile phone, but we have some internal capabilities over this Android core operating system, starting from Linux kernel. Okay, so as I said before, Android is a Linux-based operating system, especially for mobile devices. Okay, so every architecture from Android is based on Linux kernel. Okay, so what are the main important things is available in Linux kernel? Nothing but, so the first thing is display driver. Okay, so if you want to view some content over your mobile phone, the main important core layer is display driver. Okay, display driver is one of the important part in your mobile phone. Then the camera option, there is an important driver in camera driver. Then flash memory driver. If you want to insert some SD cards, everything on that, yes, you can able to use this flash memory. Then binder devices, keypad drivers, Wi-Fi driver, audio driver, power management. So each and every things there is a separate driver option. Each and every drivers are available in the Linux kernel. Okay. So after the Linux kernel, we can see the libraries. What are all the libraries available? Okay. For example, if you want to connect your network application as a smart mobile, if you want to create network application as an API format, yes, you can able to create because all the network APIs are available in this library itself. For example, if you want to connect with this SSL layer, yes, you can able to connect. Then if you want to connect databases, yes, SQL is available. Then if you want to connect your C++ library, yes, you can able to use. We have a separate library options available for C. Then we have if you want to change some CSS model, yes, we can able to change. We have a separate free type libraries. So all the libraries, all the media frameworks, WebKit libraries are available in the Android. Okay. Coming back to the runtime, so we have a core libraries and we have a DVM option. Can anyone post a comments in the chat box? What is the virtual machine for Java? What about the virtual machines? Okay, so we have a virtual machine for Android, nothing but DVM. Okay, what about in Java? What is the virtual machine for Java? Yes, very good. It is JVM. Okay, JDK is nothing but is a developer kit. Okay, so JVM is nothing but Java virtual machine. The same as Android, they have performed a separate virtual machine called DVM, Dalvik Virtual Machine. Okay, so this virtual machine is available in a setting part. Okay, you can move on to your mobile phone. Okay, we have a setting tab, setting option is available on that. Okay, under that we have a developer option. Okay, on the developer option, if you want to buy a new mobile, if you want to install WhatsApp or Facebook in the mobile devices, it is not installed. It is shown the notification as you have to enable your unknown resource application. Okay, first you need to, if you want, first thing is you want to enable your if you want to check your enable unknown resource application, then only you can able to use that application. Okay, so Android, they have a separate virtual machine called Dalvik virtual machine. So it is predefinedly available in your Android operating system. Okay, and some other core libraries are available for runtime. Everything in this available in this runtime option. Then we can move on to the application frameworks. Okay, so this application framework, if you want to view an application, these are all the main behind the things we have application. We have an activity. So if you want to make a call to your friends, we have a telephone manager. There is a window manager, content provider, location providers. So each and everything. So if you want to see some notification, yes, there is a separate framework for notification manager. So this framework is nothing but it is a key, it is a bridge between your Linux kernel libraries and application. These play a vital role in application, especially in that. Only the user, they can able to view the home screen, contact screen, phone, and browser. The user, they can able to view only these kind of application on that, but there is a background process available in that. One is your framework, libraries, Linux kernel, and Android runtime. These are all the important things in Android architecture. You can see one by one what is one by one on that. First thing, it is the Linux kernel. Okay, so the main responsibility of this Linux kernel is nothing but it is a drivers concept. If you want, if you have a private power management, memory management, device management, so each and every things will be available in this driver. So it is an heart of an Android architecture. First of all, okay, Linux kernel is one of the important thing for an Android architecture. It is an heart of an Android architecture. Then you can move on some libraries. Libraries is nothing but we have lots and lots of libraries available in Android. So as I said before, we have free type for font. If you want to change your font style, colors, CSS, everything will be available in the free type option. Then we have SQLite options for databases. If you want to connect, if you want to add some media adapters, everything on that, yes, you can able to add. And if you want to add some libraries, yes, this kind of things is available in the native libraries. And as I said before, Android is a separate runtime format. We have a DVM. DVM is nothing but Dalvik virtual machine. Okay, so this DVM is one of the important for if you want to run your Android application. DVM plays a major role for the runtime, everything on that. Okay, it consumes less memories and provide fast performance on that. Okay, the next thing is nothing but your framework. The framework is one of the important part. So the framework is mainly focused on APIs. Okay, so we have different kinds of frameworks. If you want content providers, location, telephony resource, so location manager, this kind of UI, it was maintained by frameworks. So only the user, they can able to view the application. If you want to open a menu bar, the user can only open WhatsApp, Facebook. Only they can able to view the application. They can't able to view frameworks, core libraries, everything on that. These are all things are the, see, these are the internal things will be available in the Android architecture. Only the application screen can be viewed by the user. These are all the important things in Android architecture, especially on that. Okay, then what are all the core building blocks in Android? So we can see some practical concept in that. We can deploy in the application. These are all some basic things in Android. Now we can see some how to create an Android application on that. Okay, so at the end of the session, we have a questionnaire based on that. Okay, So we can discuss some what do you mean by Android. What are the discussion we can set up later on that. We have a separate chat box and separate technologies for discussion, everything on that. Okay. So now we can move on how to create an Android application. Yes, you can able to view the screen, students. You can able to view my screen. Yes, fine. Okay, Dikshin. See, using this, if you want to develop your Android application, you can able to use Android Studio, Eclipse. Okay, okay. So if you want to create an application in Android, okay, you can able to use Android Studio, Eclipse. Nowadays, the companies they are using Ionic web Ionic development process. Okay, Ionic, Flutter. These are all the key features if you want to this key application if you want to develop an application. So now I'm going to use Eclipse ADT. Okay, so we have I am using this ADT called Eclipse ADT. So from this Eclipse, how to create a new project. Okay, this is all about your main screen. Okay, from this you can go on to file, new. Okay, move on to other option. Okay, if you want to create a new application, you have to move on file, new and other. Okay, under that you have a separate folder called Android. Under Android, you need to select Android application project. Okay, then click the next button. See, once you click the next button, it is open a new launcher called application name, project name, and package name. Okay. See, in most of the application name, it is starts from which case, whether it is an uppercase or lowercase. All the application name from your mobile phone. If you move on to WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram, what will be the initial letter of the WhatsApp icon, whether it is an uppercase or lowercase? Yes. Yes. Now it is audible.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. See, your application name will be starts from an uppercase. So this project name and package name, it is automatically created from the Android core libraries. So from this minimum SDK, whether your application will be deployed from the minimum Android version of 2.2, we can able to select as you wish. So I'm going to select 2.2. My target SDK will be Jelly Bean. Okay. So once you've done this, you can click on next button. Okay, so it is automatically create a launcher icon and activity. So once you click next button, see this is all about your app icon. Okay, your app icon should be in this format, or else if you have an app icon, you can browse. You can able to browse and change, or else you can able to change in the coding part. Okay, you have a three ways you can change your app icon. One, you can able to change in terms of if you have app icon in a local folder, you can able to select this browse button and you can able to select, or else you can able to change in coding part. Okay, then once you click the next button, see this is all about your activity. So these activities contain 5 important parts. One is your blank activity, full screen activity, login activity, and master detail flow and setting activity. So for basic level of application, you can select blank activity and click next button. Okay, this is all about your activity name and layout name. See, what is this main activity and activity underscore main? See, generally, so your Android application contain two important parts. The first part is nothing but design part, and second part is nothing but your Java part. Okay, see, this design part is nothing. Design part is created in terms of XML. See, each and every design part in Android, it is automatically created in XML. The design part is done in XML and the coding part is done in Java. Okay, so this is all about the layout name is nothing but your XML name, your Java file name is nothing but main activity. Okay, now I click finish button. Okay, so once you click on this finish button, okay, it is created a new file called 1 minute. See, it is automatically create a new page called MyFirst. My app name is MyFirst. The name of an application is MyFirst. This is all about the default text hello world. Okay, so in this session we are going to see some basic login application. Okay, how to create a login application from the scratch. It is very easy actually from this. Okay, so we have a different kinds of tools available in that. Okay, first we can see the tool part. Next we can move on to this. What are all the folders? What is the use of this folder? You can see on that. Okay, the first thing is nothing but you have a text view, large and medium and small button. Okay, so if you learn VB.NET or some other application, we have a tool called text box. Okay, the same thing. So we have a text box in terms of text view. So I'm going to drag and drop this. If you want to drag and drop to your launcher icon, it will automatically fix on that. Okay, this is all about your label box, and we have a separate button. Okay, this button is mainly focused on if you want to submit an application. So this kind of activity will be done in button, and we have a small button. We have two kind of button, and we have an on and off switch. It is available in that. Then this is all about a checkbox, radio button, everything available in that. Okay, so if you want to develop an application form, the checkbox and radio button are the important things. If you want to add your content, yes, you can able to use checkbox and radio button, and we have a spinner option. Okay, we have a progress for us also, and we have a profile pic. You have a quick contact batch. If you want to add your profile name, see this tool is available in the contact profile. This app is developed by, there is a photograph and the content, so you can able to use this tool for your contact option. Then your rating scale. Okay, we have a rating scale. These kind of tools will be available in your form widgets. The next thing will be your text fields. So the text field is nothing but it is an input from the user. Okay, we have a different kinds of text fields. So if you want to enter your name, you can able to use your first name and last name option. And we have a password box, and we have a numeric option, numeric password box also. Okay, as you wish, you can able to develop. If you want to add email ID, you can able to use email text boxes, phone number, address. If you want to add some content, multi-line text, yes, you can able to use. Then we have a date and time options. So these kind of tools is available in that. Then we have a layouts. Okay, so by default, Android contained a layout called relative layout. See, you can see this is the graphical layout, and this is your main activity layout. Okay, so defaultly Android contain relative layout only. If you want to change, you can able to change your layout as you wish. We have a grid layout, linear layout. Then we linear layout, we have a vertical horizontal layout. We have different kinds of layouts are available in this window, and we have a composite box. So composite box is nothing but if you want to do some advanced operations in terms of list option. Okay, if you move on to your ice cream parlor, okay, the ice cream parlor contain a browser called what all the ice cream flavors are available. There is a format called list format. If you want to create a customized format, you can able to use these kind of things. We have a list view, expandable list, and grid view and scroll view. These kind of tools are available in this composite window. Then if you want to add some media libraries, if you want to add some images over your application, yes, you can able to use this images and media. And we have an image view, gallery view, image button. So each and everything will be available in this image and media. Okay, then we can move on to this time and date. Okay, if you want to add your time and date in your application, if you can drag and drop this application. See this, it will show in the current time. Okay, so what my current time is 10:37, it will show 10:37. If you want to drag on your date format, yes, see this, the date picker. Okay, if you deploy this application, it will show the current date. This kind of tools you can able to add your application. And you're also add a calendar view. You see this, it will view the current month calendar, okay, according to the date. Then we have a chronometer, digital clock, everything will be available in this time and date option. And we have a transitions. Okay, if you want to switch your images, okay, automatically switch your images, you can able to use image switches, adapter view, stack view. If you want to do some animators, yes, you can able to use this kind of things in the transition windows. Then you can move on to this advanced option in terms of gestures. Okay, gestures views. Then in terms of number picker, text views, these kind of things. If you want to zoom your application, yes, there is an option called zoom button. You can have a separate buttons called zoom button. And we have other option in terms of text clocks. These are all the tools available in your Android palette options. So if you want to create a login application, you have to use three important tools. One is your label box, then your text box, and the button. Only three important tools you need to create an application in an login application. Okay. Next, we can see what are all the folders available in this My First project. Okay, the first folder is nothing but SRC. SRC is nothing but source folder. Okay, these source folder contain your Java file and package file. Okay, as I said before, once you create an application, it will create a package name. Okay, the package name will be com.example.myfirst. It is automatically created. So under the package name, it is a file called Java file. It is named as a main activity. See this, once you click this file, this is all about your Java application, Java code. So we are going to working in this code. We can see later on that. So this Java file will be available in your SRC folder. Okay. Then your generation folder is all about your configurations. Okay, Java generated folder. This is an important configuration file, r.java. See, this is so this r.java is nothing but it is mainly focused on all the configurations is available in that this generation file. These are all the dependency files for Android, and we have assets. What are all the assets things? Then library folders. See, next is nothing but your resource, RES resource folder. If you want to add images or icons or logos, you can able to use this resource folder. You can able to add images, logos, some other things you can able to add in your resource folder. And this layout will be available in this resource folder under the layout, under the folder called layout, activity main.xml. So this layout will be available in the resource folder. Then if you want to add menu bars, okay, if you want to create menus, yes, you can able to create menus using this menu bar. Then you have a value bar, value options. Okay, if you want to pass your default value in terms of strings, yes, you can able to use. We can see later one by one how to pass and value everything on that. Okay. Okay. So now we can move on to how to create a login application. How to create a login application, you can see over there. If you have any doubts, you can able to, any doubts, you can ping in on that. Yes, if you have any doubts till now. Yes. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, you can continue. Okay, we can continue. See, if you want to create a login application, the first thing you need to add the text box, add a button. Okay, you can drag and drop your label button in your app launcher window. Okay, so if you want to change this content, you can right click on the tool. There is an option called edit text. Okay, see, under the edit text, you can able to change this medium text. I'm going to change it as login applications. Login application. Okay, once you type the content, click OK button. See, it will automatically change. Okay, I just repeat once again. Okay, once you drag and drop your label button, right click over the label button and click on edit text. You can change the content and click OK button. This is all about the first thing is nothing but your label button. Okay, the next thing will be your username and password. Okay, for that you need text boxes. You can move on to the text field. Okay, so I'm going to select this person name. You can drag and drop over here. Okay, 1 second. See, so once you run on see many other application, once you type the text boxes, it will disappear some text. You can able to see that it is nothing but it is an edit hint option. Okay, hint is nothing but what I'm going to type in this text box. Okay, I'm going to type, the user has to type the username. Okay, enter username. The user want to type in the text box called username. Once you click on this button, click on this text box, the text will automatically disappear. For that, you need to use edit int. See this, I just repeat once again. Okay, I just drag and drop the text boxes in my application. Okay, right click on the text box and you select edit int. See, in the text boxes, you need to type enter username. See, once you deploy the application, okay, once deploy the application, after that, once you click the text boxes, the entire username, it will automatically disappear with the help of edit int. The next content will be your password. Okay, see the second content, password box. You can drag and drop over here. Right click, edit int, enter password. Okay, so enter password. The next thing will be a button. Once you move on the form widgets, drag and drop the button over here. Okay, right click and edit text. See, once you drag and drop the tools, the coding will be automatically generated in the activity main. You can see able to see this. So I just drag and drop the text view, edit text. See, the text view is nothing but your label box. Okay, the edit text is nothing but your text boxes. See this. This is all about your text view. This is all about your edit text. Okay, the coding will be automatically generated in the activity underscore main.xml. See this button. Okay, so the coding will be automatically generated. See, okay. If you want to add some effects over this text boxes, text box or buttons, everything on there. See, once you move on to the activity underscore main. Okay, sir, I'm going to give some bold effect, italic effect means yes, you can able to use. See this. Once you press text style, see text style. You need to type. You need not to type Android everything on that. You need to type text yes. Okay, automatically it will pop up the window called text style. Once you select this, again you press Control space. It will give some suggestions whether it is in the form of normal mode or bold mode, italic mode. I am select now bold mode. Okay, press Control is for save. You can move on to the graphical layout. See this automatically changes. If you want to increase your font sizes, yes, same. See text, yes. Press Control space for suggestion window. text size. You can able to enter the value in terms of points. Okay, I'm going to give 20 pt. Pt is nothing but points. Once you move on to the graphical window, see this, the application, the text will be automatically changes. I just change it as 10 points. Okay, so if you want to change the background color of this application, yes, you can able to change. Okay, for changing the background color, you need to know some Xcode concept. Okay, so once you Google the code, see, I just use some content. Wait, I just share the screen once again. 1 minute. Okay. Color codes. See, from this website you can able to see all the background colors are available in the form of Xcodes. Okay, see this. You want this color code? Yes, see this. You can able to change as you wish. If you want this color, you can able to use this code #db5. You need to use this code. See this. I'm going to use this code in my background. Okay. See, background. You need to type that code. See this #db5a6b. Can move on to the graphical layout. See this. The color automatically changes. Okay. So every color code, Xcode option, it is automated. It is already available in the Google. You can able to reuse this code as you wish. This code is nothing but it is Xcode. Okay. This Xcode you can able to type in your background color. It will automatically changes. So I'm going to use this color #bbd. Okay, I'm going to use #bbd 46a. Okay, once you type the content, you need to press Ctrl S. Just move on to the graphical layout. The color will be automatically changes. See, this content will be created. This kind is the design part. Okay, the design part is created in terms of XML. Once you drag and drop the tool, it will automatically generate the code in terms of XML. That's it. Okay, if you have any doubts in this design part, you can able to ask in the chat box. Yes, if you have any doubts in this graphical format, yes. Post your content in the chat box. If you have any queries, you can post, otherwise you can continue. Okay, so the first part, we can complete the design part. The next thing, we can move on to the coding part. See, the coding part will be done in Java, main activity. Sir, what to do to put some photo as background? Very good. Okay. See, you need to create a folder called drawable. Right click, new folder. Okay. See, you need to create a new folder called drawable under resource. If you have any background, wait, I just take some background option. 1 minute. I have some background images. 1 minute. Okay, so if I want this image as background, copy the image. Okay, paste it over here. See this. Okay, this content can able to change. See this. Can move on to this. Okay, double quotes at. See, there is, once you type the at symbol, the folder called drawable. Again, you press Ctrl space campus1. Can move on to the graphical layout. Yes. Is it okay? Yes, Abdul. The only thing is you need to create a new folder in the RES folder. Okay. If you have an image, if you have any kind of JPEG image, so most probably you have to use JPG and PNG format images. You just copy the image and you need to paste in the drawable folder. In the coding part, okay, in the coding part, you need to type background and with the double quotes, you need to type at drawable. You need not to type at. You just type at control space. There is a folder called drawable. Again, control space campus one. Automatically changed in the graphical layout. Okay, this is all about your design part. Okay, in the coding part, we're going to discuss about. So we can going to validate whether these content, when you type the username and password, it will show the message called login successful. If you type the incorrect password, it will show incorrect password. If the user is not typed anything on the text boxes, please enter all the fields. So this kind of messages is going to be displayed on there. So for that, I'm going to use main activity in Java. Okay, the first thing is if you want to create a code, the first you need to know three important things. The first thing is declaration. Okay, first thing is declaration part. Second is reference part. Third is your definition part. Okay, so the first thing you need to declare. We need to declare some variable on that. First, you need declaration part. Okay, next reference part, then definition part. Okay, so design part. Yes, yes. See. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so in my design part, I am going to use three important tools. One is text view, okay, and edit text and button. So in my coding, I'm going to use only edit text and button. Okay, so for that, you need to declare these tools in your Java. The first thing is edit text. E will be caps, IT, press control space. Okay, you need not to type the full text. You need to type only edit, control space, and edit text. You need to select this edit text. Okay, I'm going to create two variables. One is nothing but E1 and E2. So E1 for username and E2 for password. Okay, the next thing is button. I have only one button. See this, BUT control space button space B1. Only one button. That's it. Okay. See this, I'm going in my application, I'm going to use only two important tools. One is your edit text and the button. For that, you need to declare two objects for edit text, one for username, other for password, and the button will be B1. B1 for the button object. Okay. So far we have done the declaration part. The next thing is we can move on to the reference part. You need to create some reference. So what is meant by reference means you need to connect your XML with Java. Okay, how to connect with the help of this? See, this is nothing but your onCreate. Okay, onCreate is nothing but it is similar to your void main function in C and C++. Okay, C, Java, it is nothing main function part. The same thing. OnCreate is one of the important function in Android. So under that, I have a set content view. Okay, this is nothing but your main activity. See this. Your activity name will be displayed like this from this warm set content view. So I'm going to create a reference. Okay, my object name will be E1 equivalent to, okay, E1 under which classes it will be comes from the edit text. Okay, you need to type within the bracket edit text. Okay, find v by id r dot id dot my first text name. Edit text one is nothing but your username. Okay, I just repeat this code. E1 is nothing but your object. So edit text is nothing but your class. Okay, predefined class. Find v by id is nothing but, see, r is nothing but your configuration. See this, your configuration file will be available in the generation folder. Under that, r dot id is nothing but your method name dot your id will be edit text one. You can see this. Once you right click on the text boxes, there is edit id. Your id name is edit text one. For password, it will be edit text 2. Okay. The first reference is E1 is equal to edit text of find v by id is nothing but method name. See, in Java, usually the class name will be starts from uppercase. Your method name will be starts from lowercase, followed by the second word. First letter will be in uppercase. Find v by id is nothing but your method name. Okay, these edit text and butter are all the predefined classes. Okay, the first object I have created, second object is nothing but E2 text. Okay, so under that find view by ID r dot id dot edit text to. So I have created second references. Okay, so far I have done two text boxes. The next is nothing but your button. B1 is equivalent to button. So find view by ID r dot id dot your variable name. Okay, so far I have done the declaration part. See, I have done the declaration part. Then I complete the reference part. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask in the chat box in the coding part. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Yes, fast. So far I have done the declaration. Okay, all clear, sir. Okay, fine. The next thing is we can move on to the button interfaces. Okay, once the user enter the username and password, they need to press login button. From the login button, they can validate whether the username and password is correct or not. For that, you need to type the code. So we have to create a method called login. Okay, we have to create a separate method. For that, you need to add an interface in your GUI window. See, once you double click on the button, okay, double click on the button, press enter. Once the user click the button, it will say whether the username and password is correct or not. For that, you need to create a method called onClick. See this on, press control space, login. Okay, see the same casing you need to mention in your, the same casing you need to create a method in activity, main activity Java. See, I'm going to create a method called public void login view v. See, there is a error in the view option. Okay, what type of error means? We need to import. See, there is a package available. We have a predefined packages. We have Android OS.bundle activity. If you want to create menu, see, we have a edit text. Okay, once you type the edit text, the package is automatically imported. Edit text, but there is a separate package for view. Okay, we have to import on that. Once you touch on the error, okay, there is a window called a separate window. Under that, you need to click import view. See, the package will be automatically imported. The error will be clear. Okay, so from this, okay, this is my function. First, what I'm doing in the before means I just click on the graphical layout, double click on the button. Okay, you need to type onClick equal to login. Okay, once you type the code, you need to move for the main activity of Java, public void login view b. Okay, so from this method, you need to create two string variables. So string un. Un is nothing but username equivalent to, okay, e1 dot get text dot to string. Okay, we need to convert this content to string format. So, sir, why you are going to convert into string format means we need to validate whether my username is password is correct or not. For that, the data, the E1 is nothing but your object name. You need to convert this object into a variable format. Okay, I'm going to convert into string variable. For that, I'm going to include this code. String E1 is equivalent to E1 dot get text dot to string. Okay, the next thing is nothing but string PWD is nothing but password. So E2 dot get text dot to string. Okay, so far we have converted my username password object into a string variable. Now I'm going to check whether my username and password is correct or not. Okay, for that I'm going to use if statement. So if un dot equals, okay, so I'm going to type my name, my username as Udaya. Okay, and so pwd dot equals Okay, my password will be Indra. For example, if I press enter, see, the first parameter is nothing but, so my u1 is nothing but my string variable username which is equivalent to Udaya. So my username will be Udaya, the AND operation. At the same time, my password will be Indra. If both the operations will be true, it will show the message called toast message. So toast dot make text. Toast is nothing but it is similar to a message box. Okay, it will show the message as a small message which will be available in your Android application mobile phone. So get application context under login successful. Okay, what is nothing but the duration? Generally, this toast box contains 3 parameters. The first parameter is nothing but, say this, the toast dot make text. Once I type the method name, toast is nothing but class dot make text is nothing but a method name. Under that contain 3 parameters. The first parameter is nothing but context, text, and duration. Okay, so you need to select get application context. Okay, we have a get base context, get application. So if you want to interact with more application, so if you want to interact with more Java application, you need to use get application context. Text is nothing but what kind of message you want to display. Okay, so I'm going to display login successfully. My duration will be toast dot length long. How long the text box will be? It contain 3 format. The message will be appear in form of 3 format. One is short, sorry, 2 format. One in form of short format, long format. I'm going to select length long dot show. That's it. Okay. The next thing is else if. Okay, I'm going to copy this code. See, if the user is not enter anything, they have not entered anything. Okay, it will show the validation message. Okay, what kind of message means? Toast dot make text get application context. Under that, all fields are mandatory. Okay, the duration will be toast dot length long dot show. Okay, next, if the user is enter the incorrect password, okay, if the user is enter Udaya's username and password is Indra, it will show the message as login successful. If the user is enter some incorrect password, for that you need to mention the else part. Make text get application context. So incorrect password. The duration of text box will be toast dot length long dot show. Okay, so we have done the coding part. Okay, so yes, till now, do you have any doubts? You can ask one. Yes, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Yes, yes. If you have any doubts in this coding part, in this login coding part, you can ask. You can post your. Okay, everything clear, sir. Okay, fine. Okay. The next thing is you can move on to the execution part. Sir, once again, login coding part. Okay, Java is used as no. You can't able to use as background operations. You can't able to use as database as your backend operations. You can't able to use. Once again, login coding path, sir. See, I just repeat once again. Okay, so we have two objects for one object for username, other object for password, and the next object for button. Okay, So I'm going to create a new button, new method called login method. So from that, see, everything will be stored in this object name. Okay, I'm going to compare whether my username and password is correct or not. For that, I'm going to convert this object into string format. So string e1 is equivalent to e1.getText.toString. Again, string pwd is equal to e2.getText.toString. I'm going to convert this content into a string format. Next, I'm going to validate whether my username and password is correct or not. If my username is equivalent to Udaya and password is equivalent to Indra, if the user is entered the content as username as Udaya and password as Indra, it will show the message called login successful. For that, you need to use toast message, toast dot make test nothing but your method name. Under that, you have a get application context. Your message will be login successful, and your duration will be toast.length long. You need to show the toast box. Okay. Next, if the user is not enter anything, okay, straight away they can go and click the login button. It will show the message all the fields are mandatory. Okay, if the user is entered the incorrect password, means it will move on to the else block. It will show the message as incorrect password. Okay. The next thing, we can move on to the execution part. So for the execution, you need to know what is, you need to create a device manager. Okay, nothing but AVD, Android Device Manager. So this option, you can be able to see this icon. See, we have a icon, it will be available in the toolbox, Android Virtual Device Manager. Once you click on that icon, I already created 3 AVDs. Okay, if you want to create a new AVD, okay, you need to create, you have to click new button. See, without AVD, you can't able to execute the application. AVD is one of the important part to deploy your application. Okay, if you can't able to create any AVD, means you can't able to execute. For that, you need to create a new AVD called, you need to click new button. So my AVD name will be, okay. For example, so my first is my AVD. Okay, my device type. So what type of device you are going to use? I'm going to use, for example, Nexus 7 or Galaxy 7. I'm going to use Nexus 7. Target will be 4.2 is my Jelly Bean version. See, you have to utilize the RAM memory option. You have to reduce into as you wish. Okay, I'm going to use only 200 MB from the RAM utilization. My internal storage will be 100. Okay, this is enough. Okay. See, once you utilize this full RAM capacity, means your application deployment time, it will take some time. For that, I'm going to reduce my RAM capacity as 200 in RAM. My internal storage will be 100. Once you click OK button, see, the AVD is created. Okay. Once you click on the AVD option, my first, and click start. Okay, your launch icon. What type of dimension will be 800 and 1280. Once you click launch button, the emulator will be starts. Okay. So you can able to deploy your application in emulator and also mobile phone. Okay, if you have mobile phone, if you want to deploy your application directly to your mobile phone, you need to use PDNet. Okay, personal device assistant. Okay, there is a application is available in that. See, you can able to see this window. See, PDNet for Android. You can download this application from your system and you can able to connect it. For that, you need to use USB devices. USB cable, it will be interconnected with your PC and your smartphone. You can able to deploy your application directly. Okay, for that, you have to use PDNet. Wait, it takes some time to deploy the application. So what if the numbers is my, okay, username or password. For that, you need to use the control. 1 minute, I just show the window. 1 minute. For that, you have to use graphical layout. You need to select this text box. See, there is a number text box, password numeric. Okay, you need to select your password as numeric, means you can select as you wish. Okay, the number option, there is a phone number, you can able to select. Okay, it takes some time to load. See, already I deploy some application. See, this is like your emulator screen. Once you open the mobile phone as emulator, see, it is working depends on your system configuration. Okay, your system will be an 8 GB RAM and Wi-Fi configuration. It is working perfectly. If it is a low configuration, it will take some time. Okay, depends on the system configuration. It will work. Wait, it takes some time to load. 1 minute. This is what our emulator. My first. I already started my emulator in the name of Harish. Just wait for 2 minutes. It takes some time to load. Okay. So if you have any doubts till now, you can able to ask. If you have any doubts. Okay. Shall we move on to the question section? 1 minute. I just open the screen. Can able to view my screen? Is my screen visible? This window mentimeter.com. Yes, yes. It is visible now. Okay, okay. See, you just go to the browser. Okay. So for web application development, similar to do this. Yes, yes, you can able to do. Yes, Dikshit. Okay. So all the students, you just go to www.menti.com. Okay. Yes, yes, fast. www.menti.com. And the website is asking the code. You need to type the code 13743814. Yes, yes, you can play some game in the question section. I think one student is joined. Yes, fast, fast. Yes. Code I will share, ma. Yes, I just share in your class group. No issues. I just share the content to the respective coordinator. You will share. Fast, fast, fast. Join everyone. Yes. Only 6, 7, 8 students have joined. What about fast, fast? Join, join. Yes, yes. See, we can start, we can wait for 2 minutes so others can join. We can wait. So we have joined 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 students have joined. Yes. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. Okay, shall we start or you can wait for some time? Shall we start? Yes, yes, yes. More people are interested. Yes. Wow, wow. Very good, very good. Okay, you can start. Okay. Yes, we can start or we can wait for some time. Okay, so I think we can start. Yes. So there is a question will be in your login screen. You can select the button. Yes. Oh, very good. 21 students said that it is a software package and Linux-based operating system for mobile devices. Very good, very good. Okay. The next question. Yes. Next question. Yo, yes, you can answer. The goal of Android project is to create. Oh, very good. Real world applications. Super. Nice. The next question. The next question. Android is the nickname of. Yes. See, at last we have a leaderboard option. Okay, who is answering first based on the time? 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Oops, anti-Rubin is the right answer. Okay, the next one. Question number 4. Android version E stands for. Yes. Eclair. Very good, very good. Okay, the next one. Yes, you can answer first.